Welcome back to our journey through the Mahabharata. Today we explore the Astika Parva, one of the most remarkable stories in the Adi Parva. It is a tale of curses and prophecies, of revenge and forgiveness, and of a young sage whose wisdom saved an entire race from destruction. As we move through the story, think about the choices the characters make and what you might have done in their place. The story begins with Kadru, the mother of the Nagas, the serpent race. One day, Kadru became involved in a dispute with her sister Vinata over the color of the tail of the celestial horse Ukaishravas. Determined to win the argument, Kadru instructed her serpent sons to deceive Vinata. Many of the Nagas refused. They believed that dishonesty was wrong even if it meant disobeying their mother. Furious at their refusal, Kadru pronounced a terrible curse. She declared that one day her sons would perish in a great snake sacrifice. This curse would set in motion events that would unfold across generations. Pause for a moment and consider the Naga's dilemma. If you were in their place, would you obey your parent even when asked to do something wrong, or would you refuse and face the consequences? The Nagas chose to follow what they believed was right, but their decision came at a great cost. As time passed, concern spread among the gods. The curse seemed destined to bring about the destruction of the entire serpent race. They approached Brahma, the creator, and asked whether all the Nagas were truly doomed. Brahma reassured them that only the wicked serpents would perish. The virtuous would survive. More importantly, he revealed a prophecy. A wise sage named Astika would one day save the Nagas from complete destruction. To understand how this prophecy would come true, we must meet a great ascetic named Jaratkaru. He was a sage devoted to spiritual practice and renunciation. He wandered through forests uninterested in wealth, power, or family life. One day during his travels he came upon a strange and disturbing sight. Suspended over a deep abyss were his ancestors, hanging upside down and supported only by a fragile blade of grass. The ancestors explained their plight. Because Jaratkaru had chosen a life without marriage or children, his family line was coming to an end. Without descendants to continue their lineage and perform sacred rites, they would eventually fall into ruin. Moved by their suffering, Jaratkaru agreed to marry and have a child. However, he set unusual conditions. He would only marry a woman who shared his name, and he would not support her materially. At first glance, those conditions seemed nearly impossible. Would anyone agree to them? Surprisingly, the answer was yes. At that time, the serpent king Vasuki remembered Brahma's prophecy. He knew that the future savior of the Nagas must be born from Jaratkaru. Fortunately, Vasuki had a sister whose name was also Jaratkaru. Seeing an opportunity to fulfill the prophecy, he arranged the marriage between the sage and his sister. For a time the marriage was peaceful. Then one evening the sage fell asleep as sunset approached. His wife became concerned because the time for his evening prayers was passing. Out of respect and concern for his spiritual duties, she gently woke him. Unfortunately, Jaratkaru interpreted her action as a disturbance. Angered, he announced that he would leave and resume his solitary life. Before departing, however, he revealed that she was carrying his child. The prophecy was already in motion. In due course, a son was born. He was named Astika. From his father he inherited wisdom and knowledge. From his mother's side he inherited compassion and a connection to the serpent race. Astika grew into a brilliant young sage, mastering sacred teachings at an early age. Soon he would face the challenge for which destiny had prepared him. Meanwhile, another story was unfolding. King Janamejaya, ruler of the Kuru kingdom, was consumed by grief and anger. His father, King Parikshit, had died after being bitten by the serpent Takshaka. Determined to avenge his father's death, Janamejaya decided upon an extraordinary act of revenge. He ordered the performance of a great sacrifice known as the Sarpasatra, or snake sacrifice. The ritual was unlike anything the world had seen. Powerful priests chanted sacred mantras that drew serpents from every corner of creation. One by one, snakes were pulled helplessly through the air and cast into the sacrificial fire. Thousands perished. The destruction was so immense that it threatened the survival of the entire Naga race. Even Takshaka, the serpent responsible for Parikshit's death, was eventually drawn toward the flames. This moment raises an important question. Was Janamejaya justified in seeking revenge for his father's death? Or had his desire for justice become something darker? The Mahabharata often challenges us to consider where justice ends and vengeance begins. As the sacrifice continued, the terrified Nagas remembered Brahma's prophecy. Their only hope was Astika. The young sage approached the sacrificial arena and requested entry. Though still young, he spoke with extraordinary wisdom and humility. His words impressed everyone present, including King Janamejaya himself, pleased by Astika's intelligence and character. The king offered him a reward. "Ask for whatever you desire," Janamejaya declared. The priests immediately grew uneasy. They sensed what Astika was about to request. Astika did not ask for wealth, power, or fame. Instead, he made a single request: stop the sacrifice. The arena fell silent. Janamejaya faced a difficult choice. He had sworn to grant Astika's wish, yet ending the sacrifice would mean abandoning his quest for revenge. Should he honor his promise, or should he continue the destruction? After careful thought, the king chose to keep his word. He ordered the sacrifice to stop. The chanting ceased. The flames no longer claimed their victims. The surviving Nagas were saved, and Takshaka escaped destruction. In that moment, the prophecy was fulfilled. Kadru's curse had taken effect, and many serpents had perished. Yet, the entire race was not wiped out. The wicked had suffered, but the innocent had been spared, just as Brahma had foretold. The Astika Parva is far more than a story about serpents and ancient rituals. It is a reflection on some of humanity's deepest questions. How far should revenge be allowed to go? What responsibility do we have to keep our promises? Can wisdom and compassion achieve what violence cannot? Astika's greatest strength was not physical power. He did not command armies or wield mighty weapons. Instead, he used wisdom, courage, and compassion to stop a cycle of destruction. Through his actions, an entire race was saved, and a king learned that justice must be tempered with restraint. As you reflect on this story, consider which lesson speaks most strongly to you. Is it the importance of keeping one's word? The danger of unchecked revenge? The power of wisdom? Or the value of compassion? The Mahabharata offers no easy answers, but through stories like the Astika Parva, it invites us to think deeply about the choices that shape our lives.